Welcome back to another episode.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Today we don't have a coffee or a smint. We have a blue WKD.
No. Feels like a long day.
Had a long day.
I'm joining her.
Straight in from a full day of training, the team, which was really good. It's, like I said, I've got a bit of a headache now, but that's only because I get quite hyped up and it gives me a lot of energy and
it takes a lot of energy.
It takes a lot of
Mentally,
energy, but it also gives me a lot of energy.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm like it's like having 3 coffees.
Yeah.
I feel a bit wired.
Yeah.
After
Your body's like, what are you doing?
and now like I've stopped for a minute. It's like so I've got in. I've been actually out of the house today, hence why I'm a little bit professionally dressed today. So I was in the office and then I come back in. I was like, knew you were coming over, and I was like, I've got a headache and a headache. And Leah was like, I'm joking. Well, no, we'd planned to record because I'm away this week, so we're actually recording on a Monday today, but you'll get this on a Friday.
Monday vibes.
So yeah, I walked in and Liam was like, I've been indoors all day with the kids, so I'll go to the shop and get you a drink if you want. I was like, that's a bit long. He's like, no, I'm very happy to go. So yeah, I was like, well, if you're gonna go, get us a blue WKD. That's
nice.
One of our drinks for the night out, isn't it? Our little soft drink.
Love it.
I say soft drink. It's an alcoholic drink, but it's our week drink.
Nice drink.
We don't drink much anymore.
No. You'll see when this is finished how we are. No, we're joking. I won't be that bad.
Yeah, it might be a bit louder by the end of the episode.
No, it's nice. Nice shout.
But yeah, that hits the spot.
It is
After a
nice,
long
I
day.
have to admit. It is nice.
So yeah, it's only really been a few days since we recorded. But yeah, like I said, I've had a busy day at work. But you've had a busy weekend.
Yeah, I did. I went to my wedding dress appointment.
Yeah,
that was, I don't even know what it's called, but I went to so I had an appointment to go and look at wedding dresses. I know. I wasn't very excited, I have to say.
Okay, how did the day start then?
I think stereotypically, or maybe just most women are, really excited and can't sleep to get up there. I was probably I didn't really think much of it. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not, I'm not so nowadays anyway. Plan ahead, if usually I'll just see what's there before we go out, and that'll be it, because otherwise it will go overthink it and then it will just become more of a stress. So something's in there and I'll find it and it'll be fine. So yeah, I think I felt a little bit like it the day before anyway. Maybe it was subconscious anxiety, who knows, do you know what I mean? But so yeah, woke up of the morning and I just thought,
could really not do with this.
Yeah, I don't want to get up and get ready to go. It wasn't even early, but it was just, I think I was just making excuses and making myself angry with everything, really.
Sometimes when you're just not in the mood as well.
It was that. And again, I'm not a planned person. So I think it was more, if I had woke up that day without an appointment, I'd thought, no, I'm not feeling it today. It's not the right day to go and try it on, because I'm just going to go no to everything.
Yeah.
But because
sometimes we have them days, not really anything's happening. Exactly. It's just maybe hormones, mood swings,
whichever, exactly,
subconscious feelings.
Exactly. Like shit's getting real in a way, or a bit closer. So I do really need to plan, because I don't really have it.
Well, everything's still quite up in the air.
Very up in the air. Not that we're not getting married, but it's just what we're actually doing. You know what I mean? To mark it or celebrate it.
You had a venue, you cancelled the venue.
Yeah, all this loads.
So everything's still up in the air.
Yes. So very nearly cancelled the appointment in the morning. I was going upstairs to get my phone to call the place and make some excuse. Well, in my head theory, I wasn't lying, because I was going to say I'm just not feeling very well, which
it's kind of
technically not lying. But as I went upstairs, I had a missed call actually off my sister-in-law, who had Lexi, and Lexi was coming with me. So weirdly enough, maybe if it was anyone else, I probably wouldn't have returned the call, and I just would have carried on with what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I returned the call to my sister-in-law, and obviously she heard it in my voice. Then I've gone, like, I don't want to do, I don't even want to go to the appointment. And she's literally obviously just pep talked me out of it, like, sort yourself out. This ain't even for you. This is for Lexi, mum. Literally like that. And
I bet it's easier to sort yourself out when you think, Lexi's probably so excited for this.
Exactly. Even my mum was waiting, obviously, for me to go.
If you cancel.
I'm her only daughter, this experience for her as well is
a really day.
Lovely. It's huge. So she definitely shook me out of my little kind of tantrum or whatever was going on with me. And so then Lexi came came back from hers, and she'd done all her hair. So she'd done all her hair ready for the day, and it was lovely. So I did go to the appointment, and it was lovely. It was such a lovely day. It really was, to be honest. I've tried on a lot of dresses.
More than 10?
I wouldn't say more than 10.
Close to 10.
Yeah, I got to obviously a point with where I am as well. Was like, I felt like, right, I've got to stop now. I'm getting a bit fed up.
And you weren't going there specifically to try and find a dress. It was more just have the experience, get some ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I think you didn't have that pressure, so you didn't have to keep trying.
Yeah, and I know that, well, I did ask her, and she said that they have a 90% rate that on these appointments, all the 90% that they buy their wedding dress there and then, which is great. Do you know what I mean? And there's a song that plays every time. I think it's the wedding march that plays every time someone says yes to a dress or a man to like a suit in this shop. And it didn't stop going. And I was thinking, oh, I don't really feel like I'm close to saying yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the lady even did say to me, you're not going to say yes today, are you? I was like, no, I won't be saying yes today. But I knew I wasn't in my head. Well, I could have. If I found it, I probably would have. But in my head, I was like, no, today I'm not. It's not the day, and I'm just.
I think it depends how you go in, like
exactly, maybe,
are.
Exactly. So I told her what I didn't like, and that's the first dresses she came out with, and in the end, with a bit of adjustments, they ended up being more of my favourite type of dress, which I don't know if that's normal with the bride.
They do say that you end up liking, or the dress that you end up going for is not what you thought you'd go for.
I think out of about like 6. There were 6 dresses, that I could have probably picked a little bit of every one and made it into a, you know, because none of them were the one. Yeah. But I did like little bits of a few.
Well, I only got one picture from one of the dresses that you put on, and I thought that was amazing. Yeah. I don't even know like what of that dress that you didn't like, because if you said that was the one I picked, I would have been like,
okay.
Yeah, suited you, looked lovely on you. Oh my God. Yeah.
Which one was it like a lace thing at the back?
It had, the back was all pretty, and then it had, probably because your boobs are a bit out, that you probably didn't like it, because I know what you're like.
I know, it's weird.
But then you could have, because you had, because it was quite low, but it had like the net see-through, so you could have put the lace netting to cover any.
So this was part of it. I think part of it was, certain things that I was saying I liked, the lady was saying, you know, like scientifically, you can't have that dress.
Yeah,
you know,
that bit doesn't go with that bit.
Typical of what I want.
Can't have a low back and a detail.
Charlotte, it doesn't exist. But the experience was amazing. It was brilliant.
It's a really nice place.
It really was. It was lovely.
And compared to, I mean, it's the same place that I got
I said this to my mum.
Where I went, and to where like the place is now,
another level
for a friend of ours. They've literally transformed.
Another level.
In the 8 years.
Yeah, honestly, it's insane. It is immense. Like I was so, and then we got a little bag. Me and Lexi got a little bag, and I got, you know, like your wedding dressing gown. I know it's not called that, but you know, like a slip. I don't know what the blooming hell they're called. You know, the dressing gown thing
like
that you wear. Yeah, robe. There you go, Bill. It's not a dressing gown. Clearly, I don't have one of these things.
Do you know what Americans call a dressing gown? A house coat.
Yeah, so do Scottish, I think, because obviously.
What the fuck is a house coat?
And
house coat, just enough to get my house coat so cozy.
Obviously, the kids' friends are Scottish as well, so some of their mums I've had this conversation.
It's so bizarre
over and over. There's a few other things like that. I can't think of the top of my head now, but yeah.
Carry on. Yeah, a robe.
So I got the robe, and there was like these glass water bottles that Lexi had her eye on. So although they wasn't given, Nanny bought her one of those to take home. So Lexi came out with a whole goodie bag. But yeah, no, the experience was great. It gave me a few ideas. I definitely feel more, because I'm not very educated, let's say, on styles of dresses. So there's like mermaid and there's A-line. And
I don't think most people are, unless a wedding is like something you obsess of since you're little. If you're one of them kind of girls, then you probably know all the words. Like even like, oh, brilliant cut diamond, cut the clarity, and all those things. And I'm not. So so that was just probably difficult for the lady when she was asking me. I was like, I don't know, but she did say that I was
sort of sticking to the same style in a way, which I was okay then, so I'm not sending you too crazy. Because these women are so good at their jobs, I have to say.
Yeah, you think it's just grabbing something
they
from
are
the rack,
not
but
they are not. So I'd shout out to Susanna there at Sedkanovia.
there
She
you go,
was good.
little
she was good, I have to say.
little inside
no, she was fab, for someone who has no idea. And just generally
for a difficult client.
Just generally the experience was great in the end, obviously after my little meltdown. So that was lovely, really lovely. And then we went for lunch after and finished off the day, which was great. So as a day started as if I weren't doing it.
You're glad you did.
I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. But the only thing now is that I have thought, I haven't even told you this. This is
okay.
I know. I have thought about. Well, I need to see if they've replied to me of bringing my wedding earlier. Not my celebration.
The actual legal.
Just my ceremony. Yeah.
What made you do that?
Because of how I felt on that morning. I thought, I'm planning on more or less doing it in the same week, aren't I? And I thought, that's just going to be too much for me. Mm-hmm. And why I'm not then? Why am I doing it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And talking about all the time of it's about us, and really the way I've done it thinking of other people.
All right.
Does that make sense? So I've maybe this experience made me think of this for a reason. I don't know, but I've asked to see if they could change it. So I don't know. I might need a dress sooner than I think.
Yeah, because you're going to wear the dress to both.
I'm planning on wearing the same dress. Yeah. I'm not planning on having one dress for one and one
It's just because when I did the legal bit, I didn't wear a dress.
Which a lot of people don't do that. Yeah. Or they wear, let's say they don't make a fuss of the outfit so much.
It depends. Like you say, you're doing it a little bit differently to us. So obviously you're doing the legal bit. You're making more of a thing of that. And then the secondary bit, when everyone comes together, is going to be more of a celebration. You're not doing a ceremony. So it is a little bit different. Whereas I had the legal bit.
Which we wouldn't have known about in a way.
Which nobody would have known about, because on the actual day, which was the fake day, we done the aisle. We did we signed a fake registry thing. We had a ceremony. Yeah, we did all of that. So we did obviously everything on that, so we made less of a thing of the legal side of it, but we did ours 8-9 months apart.
Yeah, which I think a lot of people do have.
That was from what a friend told me.
Yeah.
So she got married the year before in the December, and she went to Gibraltar quite a bit of time before. I think she went in like August. So August to December is quite a long time frame. But she was like, oh my God, like if you're planning on doing it, because our wedding day was September. If you're planning on doing it just before, don't go in August. It's a nightmare, traffic, people, tourists, all of that. So I was like, right, well, I definitely can't do it the summer. Yeah. So I'm going to have to do it at least maybe 4 months before. And then it just so happens that when I reached out to them, they gave me dates, and well, this is a bit funny actually, because they gave me what I thought was like the day we met, which was the day before my birthday. Yeah. So in my head, I thought we'd done the legal bit on the 24th of November, the day we actually like met. And I thought, oh, that was nice. That's like, even though I'm not counting the legal side of it, and I count my wedding anniversary as the fake one, at least it's like linked to something. So the day that we met, connection. Yeah, some connection. When I've actually gone back into it only in recent years, I got married on my birthday.
Did you?
I got married the day after, on my actual birthday. So
it was your birthday and you didn't even...
Well, obviously at the time I must have known, but years later I just thought I'd done it the day before.
You've got that memory in your head.
In my head, I thought it was the 24th. But no, I actually got married on my birthday. Which is still kind of the nightmare, because we met on the night of the 24th, which went into my birthday, which is the whole point, because we met on my birthday. But yeah, actually the legal date for our wedding.
It's funny, anyhow. You have these things in your head. So like, yeah, that is it. And then
I've told people like, oh, really? The document says that.
I've probably done about most stories I've been on here. Like my mum and my brother, like my dad. No, you never.
Or even friends. That never happened. What are you on about? It's true, innit? Everyone remembers things differently, and sometimes you'll have a conversation, you'll be like, do you remember that? I'm like, no.
Yeah, or the other way around.
Yeah.
is.
So we ended up going in the November. We didn't actually do the big celebration with everyone till the following September. So that give us a long time to have things, like spread out. Like I say, you don't want a stressful week, because also the week that everyone travels is the week that everybody wants to see you. Especially when you're in Spain, you get a lot of people coming over on holiday, so they want to see you more than just on the wedding day.
And do you feel what's that word? What's the word? Do you feel like you need to see everyone in that? Like
obliged.
Yeah. Because everyone's here for you in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like you might not have done, but I haven't got there yet. But, everyone's here for you, and it's all this run up to your day, and and you feel like you need to give them that time.
Yeah.
But obviously not everyone's together. You've got other stuff to sort out maybe in that week.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on, isn't there? So I just didn't know.
And obviously you've got lots of different groups of people.
Yes, it doesn't matter how close your family and friend unit are, there's still groups.
Yeah, we had Liam's family, we had my family, I had uni friends come over, I had college friends come over, I had one of my childhood friends come over. So
which we'd all sort of a little bit met at the hen, didn't we?
So
some of us, girl-wise,
people would have met at the hen, which was in the June-July of the a couple of months before. So some of the girlfriends had met. But obviously we're talking about parents and family members, and that have there's some of Liam's family that never met some of my family. So there was a lot, and I think I'm just trying to think back. It was a busy week, and we definitely did meet up with people that week leading up to the wedding, because my childhood friend that she come over with her partner, daughter, who's my goddaughter and who was my bridesmaid, and her mum and dad came over as well, because obviously I've known them since I was like 7 or 8, so I invited them too. So they come over for like a week's holiday, so it's like they're coming over for me, but they're also having like family time together themselves. So we did have like a beach morning or a beach day, so they went and me and Liam popped down and we saw them, and for a bit. So we kind of dipped in and out, and we went like some of my uni friends that come over, they come over, a couple of them, and some with partners. So then we went for like dinner one day with them, and then some of the some people I didn't actually see before or after, because some people were flying in the day before and flying out the day after, so you didn't have the opportunity. So where possible we did try, I think.
But you didn't feel stretched so much.
I didn't feel
we've got to go and do this.
No,
we've got to do that. You know what I mean?
I didn't feel stretched from what I can remember. And where possible, group lots of people together and see everyone all at once. But I don't think I went out of my way completely to see everyone that come over for the wedding. There would have been too many people. No,
because I've heard so many different stories, and I've seen experiences of obviously struggles with, what guests you invite in, shit between bridesmaids or dresses, or the hen party, weekend nights, who you invite in, what the cost of stuff,
it's
crazy. Like all these things. For example, in sorry mum, in my dress appointment, my mum questioned if I was going to be sleeping with Mitch the night before our wedding.
Which traditionally is something that you spend the night apart before the wedding.
Traditionally.
But I ain't traditionally.
No, I just said no. Just went no. And it was like, no, what? No, yes, I am. And she was like, no, you're not. What I was saying the right thing there.
No, you're
not. And I was like, yes, I am. Because for me, and Mitch, if I was to have to sleep probably the night away from him, on that night especially, I probably wouldn't sleep very well. I'd have a shit night's sleep. I'd wake up tired and stressed and more anxious, I suppose. I'd prefer to be with him and sit and relax and think, right, it's tomorrow, this is it, and get up in the morning, have breakfast together with everyone, and then separate just to get ready. And that's our plan, and I didn't know if obviously this is just my first question I've been asked that someone's sort of disagreed with, but obviously it was more of a shock because obviously she's so traditional, so I just didn't know if Well, did you have any questions like that off your mum or anyone? Or
I think,
did we give you shit as bridesmaids?
to be fair, I think I was very lucky with my bridesmaids. I've heard multiple stories as well with things like that going and causing loads of problems, which is not what the bride needs, to be honest, when you've got that much going on.
No.
But in terms of all like the little traditional things, I think my mum's quite open.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really anything in particular that she would have been like putting on me or wished that I would have done it a certain way. You know, she's done things in the right way, the wrong way, different, you know, she's very open-minded as well. So there wasn't really anything that she really insisted that I did. I did spend the night apart from Liam because I think it was just, well, I guess so. Right. Went along with it.
Yeah.
So again, if I was to do it now, I'd be thinking each time rather than this is the way it goes. Do I want to do that? And if I had the choice, I had the choice then. I wasn't really forced into it.
No, but like you say, you
question it.
No, yeah.
I just kind of went, oh, that's what we do. Okay, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And it just made sense because I was getting ready at my mum's the following morning anyway, which is 20-25 minutes away. So I just spent the night there. But yeah, if I was to do it now, I would absolutely spend the night with Liam because again, we're very similar. Yeah. That's the way we would like to be. Yeah. Catch up in the morning before, like, I'll see you in a few hours. Yeah. That's the way I probably would have preferred it. Not that my experience was bad, but again, I just didn't think and I just went along with it. But having said that, in my mind, like you say, oh yeah, it would have been a nice experience to like spend the night, you know, with family or whatever. And yeah, I was like, oh, we're staying at my mum's house, but I ended up being in the shopping centre till 7-8 o'clock at night trying to find shoes for my sister the day before the wedding, and then getting back. By the time I'd had something to eat, I don't think I got into bed till 10-11.
Anything.
Not how I would have had it in mind, like, oh, you know, we'll chat all evening and we'll, you know, have, you know, watch a movie or I don't know.
Because really, as a bride, they say you should do anything, you know.
Oh.
And in a way, I think with having bridesmaids or, you know, close friends or, you know, your family, sometimes maybe asking too many questions, maybe, because it's not even about, maybe it's just that it sometimes brings more stress.
Yeah.
Totally. Maybe. Again, I don't have them, but I can only go on experiences of, I mean, for example, I even just sometimes planning a hen, I know I've experienced sometimes, and I think, oh, for goodness sake, you lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're either coming or you're not coming.
Yeah.
You know, or you want to get involved or you don't want to get involved. Because this isn't about you. This is about her. This is for her. Yeah. And this is it, you know? Yeah. And, well, I will say it when it comes to mine. Anyone fucking around, they're not coming, all right?
Yeah, get out of the WhatsApp group.
I just think, you know, like...
No, it's true. I think...
Oh, God.
I think when it comes to getting married, hen do's, kids, all of that, the more you talk about it, the more opinions you're going to get. Unsolicited opinions sometimes where people just, you know, give you, well, I think this or I think that. And I think...
Sometimes people help, but sometimes it just makes the situation...
Well, sometimes it can make you question yourself. Yeah. It can make you overthink something that you thought you'd already decided on. It can make you feel bad and maybe feel like you have to do something which you originally didn't want to. So the more people you speak to sometimes can go against...
And sometimes it can open to your eyes at actually how selfish your close ones are.
Well, this is what comes up with a wedding. I think a wedding, more than anything that you go through in life, will show you who your true friends are. And having kids obviously is another thing. But I think, you know, I've had it so many times with hens I've organised. With, I mean, I've got some stories of like when you organise my hen, some stories come back to me, but generally of some of the hens that I've been involved in or I've actually organised, and I'm like, you're her closest friendship group and you're causing so many problems right now. Like there was one that was fairly local, fairly within, you know, I say cheap budget, obviously everyone's money's different, but it was well in advance. People didn't have to fly, things like that. So it wasn't a super expensive hen do, which I think nowadays they're getting more and more.
Everything's
the leveling up and up, aren't they? So like, but yeah, this was more than reasonable. There was obviously accommodation that you had to cover. There was a few activities, you know, to keep the couple of days fun, and then chipping in for, you know, a couple of like gifts or covering the hen side of it, so that she didn't have to pay for accommodation or activities. Well, some people were like, well, if we're paying for all of this and we've got to pay for her as well. And it's like, between all of you, it's actually maybe 40-50 quid each extra. And this is, like, say, you're on a hen do for her. I want to say I see other people's side, but in this situation, I don't. I would fully cover yours. I would expect you to cover mine. Like, this isn't something that I expect from other people for me and I wouldn't do in return. And like you say, this isn't a random associate. This is someone's wedding that you've been not only invited to the wedding day, but you've been invited to the hen do, which is very personal. Not every wedding guest goes to the hen do.
I think it's a big deal to be invited.
And sometimes some of these people were bridesmaids. So you have been distilled the honour of a bridesmaid.
As someone, you can't go to the bride, can you, in that moment? Like, obviously, after, we'd tell you everything, sort of thing.
But in the moment, you don't want to ruin it. Like, your bridesmaid's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, are these your mates or what? Where did you find these lot?
Some are family as well. Don't forget, these aren't friends, some are family.
This is it. And everything's sweet until this kind of a
shit gets real. And it is. It's like wedding brings out, and I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know what the reason is, but you give me an ugly dress, I'll wear it. You tell me we're going to a place I hate, I'm going. Like, this isn't about me and my decisions. I'm going wherever you want to go, and I'm doing whatever you want to do.
Because with especially with the dresses, obviously the brides pick them for you. Now, as it's someone as close to you, obviously, if I was to do that for you, saying you didn't feel comfortable in something, we're that close, I would hope that you'd go, look, I really don't feel comfortable. I'd probably know your reaction because I know you that well. But generally, I would hope that you'd go, I don't really like this. Or as soon as you see it, if you didn't like it, go, really? But that would be in a different situation. Do you know what I mean? Oh God, I've lost what I was saying.
But realistically, should you give the bride that feedback, or should you just suck it up and wear it?
In a way, yes. But I'm just saying, if I was really, really, really that uncomfortable, and really you are obviously one of my close friends or family to choose me for this, personally, I would want that person to come to me and be like, I don't feel, is there anything we can do to maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it was a group of people that come to me, girls, if you're not comfortable, you don't like the look of it, go, that's an ugly dress, Charlotte. You really serious, you want us to wear it. That's fine, because I'm quite open to that kind of thing, you know. But when it comes to other things, you know, I just think, like
if you had an activity that you specifically said, I want to do this on my hen do, I want to go to this place on my hen do.
Because it's your hen and you like them things, so that your hen is planned around you and what you like. If someone doesn't want to get involved in something because they're boring, or they just don't like that activity, or they've got a fear of whatever it is, fine, absolutely fine. But then don't make a big deal out of it. You just go, look, I'm out
there for everything else.
Exactly. I'll pay for it, but I'm there. Do you know what I mean?
For example, we did a catamaran trip. There's a couple people that I know that get travel sick.
Yeah.
And there was someone that was really ill on the boat, but she still tried to come. She still tried to be there. Exactly. Other people took a tablet. I don't know if one person didn't come, but
but I was 8.5 months pregnant.
Exactly. And you were massively
Do you know
pregnant,
what I mean?
And you wanted to get involved in the water activities, and you couldn't.
I just sat there crying like, oh.
I think there needs to be a balance though, because like you say, I think if you're really uncomfortable to the point that you really don't want to wear something, then you should be able to try and figure out a way around it. But then at the same time, I think, unless you're literally crying your eyes out, which some people would do that anyway, like just,
I was going to say, it depends on the person, and like you say, it depends how much this issue, if it was an issue. But generally, no, it's not about you, it's about the bride and the groom.
Take it, whatever's been given, respect it, go with it. And like you say, a lot of times the brides pay.
Yeah.
So in that instance, you really shouldn't, kick back at it. Or sometimes the bride might pick it and you have to pay, which doesn't happen as often from what I understand. That's a bit different. If I'm having to pay a lot of money for a dress, then I want to enjoy it. But then at the same time, it's your wedding. So, you pick it and you go for it and I'll wear it. But I think it's when these little like dress alterations crop up, or these extra costs, like you've got to think of the pressure that a bride goes under with all the things that you have to pay for. You're budgeting for a long time. You're having to save up usually for these weddings. When these unexpected things crop up, this is when normally what causes sometimes a problem, because the bride I bought the dress, but you cover your alterations, which I've I've been in the situation for.
Or hair and makeup, for
I think
example.
that's fair. A lot of brides, sometimes they pay for them, sometimes they don't.
But I feel
yeah.
that some people expect.
Yeah.
People expect that to be covered. Well, if you was going to the wedding, right, you'd be buying your outfit.
You do
and
your
you'd
own
be
hair
sorting your own hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Well, if it was me, you wouldn't. I'd go and get someone to do it because I'm not very good at it. So I would be going to pay for that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's nice for a bride to get the dress, the bridesmaid dress. I think because they get to pick it, and in a way they should cover the cost for that. But I don't expect a bride to pay for hair and makeup.
No.
I think that's such an extra cost. And if you have a number of bridesmaids, that could be an extra £500.
Yeah. I don't. What I mean is, I just think that people expect it.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as you get a title of bridesmaid, you kind of expect. Oh, literally, they act like the bride. Okay, so what shoes am I wearing? And what dress is it? And what colour is it? And what style is it? And how are we having our hair? And how?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's still about me.
And I've
still my wedding.
I've seen bridesmaids be more bridezillary than the bride. And that's not fair. I think at the end of the day, as a bridesmaid, the actual title is to make the bride's day better and easier.
Nice to the bride.
Yeah, you should be catering and trying to help her and take pressure and stress off her, not give her extra things to think about and extra decisions to make.
Yeah.
I mean, for mine, I got the dresses. I give you guys the colour of the shoe, but said do get whatever shoes you want, but get silver, I think, or white, or one of them. Anyway, I picked the colour.
You said silver or white, and I think we had to make the decision together, was it?
Possibly, yeah.
I can't remember.
And then you guys then decided, and you bought whatever shoes you wanted. I think you spoke about it, and some of you even bought the same ones, but it was down to you to, the dresses were long, so it was very easy. Yeah. But I've been a bridesmaid with a short dress, and it was, this is the colour of the shoe. Get whatever shoe you want.
Didn't say, for example, you didn't say to us, right, I want all your hairs like this.
No, I'll let you guys do
these exact shoes. I'll send you the link, kind of thing. Well, I had to have my dress altered for not for fitting, but for breastfeeding, didn't I? So I could breastfeed in it.
Yeah, because you gave birth.
But I didn't then go, oh, there's the bill.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you decided to get married.
What, at this time?
Yeah, so exactly. I covered the dress. You guys got your shoes. I let you guys do your own hair and makeup. Which obviously you went and got someone to do that.
Well, I took your.
You guys took my makeup artist. That wasn't late to me.
That wasn't planned though. It just went like that.
But yeah, no, I think, like I say, there's certain expectations that come, and like I don't think you should put any expectations on.
No,
if you're involved or not involved, like on what you get paid for, what you don't get paid for. Like if you invite me as a guest, if you invite me as a bridesmaid, tell me what you want and it will be done.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like. Weddings are expensive, whether you're a guest, whether you're a bridesmaid. There are things that come, even as a guest, you got to travel, you got to pay for accommodation. Like there's lots of things involved, your outfit, so there's,
as a guest,
it's still an honour. And I think people lose that. They think unless you're in the wedding party, then it's like, oh, well, it's someone's wedding.
Yeah.
But it's like, they've chosen you to be in the wedding.
Yeah.
Out of all the people that they know.
Yeah.
That's a privilege. They're paying for you to be there.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they have buffet, sit-down meal, evening reception, whatever it is, usually they're paying for per guest to be there.
Yeah.
So, I just think the level of expectation or like
opinion,
entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, just make the bride's life easier.
Yeah.
Whether it's the hen, whether it's the wedding, whatever she wants goes.
Yeah, I think
whatever you get told to pay for, pay for.
Yeah.
But don't go.
Yeah.
You have that choice.
Yeah, like you say, I'll suck it up and get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, if you pick an ugly dress and expect me to wear it, I'll wear it. If you expect me to pay for it, I'll pay for it. It's fine.
Fine.
Unwillingly, but I'm not going to tell you that.
No, it is. It's true. There is a lot of ups and downs that happen in between the literally.
I think we're just quite thoughtful friends, though.
Possibly.
To be honest, I think, from hearing, through the grapevine, other friends and what they experience and being like part of WhatsApp groups for hens and all these things. I'm shocked at what some friends, family say.
But even on hens, I've been with hens, and it's like it turns into more. It turns into not about the hen because I don't know, 3 of them are wrecked in the corner, and you know what I mean. And the hen's just like,
can't relax because other stuff.
Yeah, rather than you're supposed to be about this person, you know,
Yeah.
that one person, when in fact now it's about you, you know, because now we've all got to look after you.
Yeah.
In a way, you know?
Definitely.
I think.
Yeah. There's lots of dynamics that weddings throw up,
Mm.
you know, like family dynamics, friend dynamics, before the wedding and even at the wedding. Like I say, not everything always goes to plan.
No.
Things happen. And like I say, expectations until you start talking about the wedding. Like your mum expects you to spend the night apart. You didn't know that until you got to the point of talking about it.
Yeah. And even sometimes it's just someone could ask a question and it's just a question. That's all it is a question, just that they want to ask.
Didn't think about that.
But then it makes me overthink then. I'm like, or is so-and-so coming and you don't know. And then you think, should I be inviting that person then?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of makes you second question yourself on stuff. And maybe that person, whoever asks it, doesn't mean of that, but
it gets you
going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's at the moment for me, I mean, I'm a little bit, Mitch is definitely easy to work with on this mission, because he's just like, just whatever you want really, whatever, because he's happy, he'll just go with the flow.
Liam was the same. His only thing was, I don't want to get married in the church. Anything else you want to do?
Whatever.
Do it.
Yeah. He's very thing with the invites. I think if I give him the invite situation, it would be, I could probably count on my hand.
If anyone's questions you, should be like, ask Mitch. Talk to Mitch. Mitch's problem.
Exactly.
Because like I say, I think I'm a bit of a people pleaser.
I probably am more so than Mitch, definitely.
And I think definitely 10 years ago. If I got married now, I would have had a lot more of, you know, felt more confident in my decisions, I think, now, because that just naturally comes with age anyway. But back then, I think there was things that I would have done differently.
It's because when you say this, it's because I'm more like but they are my da-da-da-da. He's like, you haven't spoke to them for 2 years. Why? You know, and he's completely right in what he's saying. He's completely right.
You feel I'm the one that I'm the one that has to maybe see them or them ask questions.
And maybe again, I'm not so me and Mitch generally are not so like this, but maybe as well, if it was the other way around and I didn't get invited, I'd be like, oh, I know we haven't spoke, but I thought we were love to be a part of that. You know, for example, you know, maybe that's why, I don't know, but it is a
well, I think that's a good way of doing it, because it's like, if you wouldn't be offended if they didn't invite you, then you definitely shouldn't invite them. Because if you're not offended if they don't invite you, then are you that close that you
because I'm not
be there,
like that anyway. You know, in that way of well, you know, I don't feel entitled, you know, I'm like, it's fine, it's your thing, you know. But there is some people isn't there that you think, oh no, they would, you know,
they'd be upset if they weren't invited and stuff. And I think that's what's hard, because you don't think, like, what you should think is, if they told me they couldn't make it, would I genuinely be a bit gutted? If you would, then absolutely they should be on the invite list. If you get a no and you go, yes, one less person to pay for, then you know that they shouldn't be on your guest list. And I started doing that, so I know that I invite people that I shouldn't have. That's because I was like, oh yes, one less person to pay for.
That's a good little tip, that.
So if you're not willing to pay for them, or you don't want to pay for them, or you're excited if you get a no, then that's play that situation out in your head. And if you would genuinely be gutted that they wouldn't make it, then you know that it's a truth.
I had an experience of, I mostly can attend, you know, weddings and, you know, big events for people, whether it's here or in the UK or wherever, because, you know, living here it's not just one place, is it, you know? So, and usually I can go to everything, and there was one wedding that we couldn't go to at the time because it just wasn't the right time, whether it's financially or whatever the reason, and I had to say no. And I remember on the day I was gutted. I was. I mean, they I don't mean they wasn't. I don't mean that they wasn't. But obviously they were absolutely fine that I wasn't there. Absolutely fine. But it was the one thing that I was just like, really felt like, oh my God. I really wish I was there, you know. It was all my family, and it just just one of those things, you know, that I was just like, oh, really gutted that I couldn't.
Well, it's once in a lifetime experience, isn't it?
But you can't relive that.
You can't relive someone's wedding. You can't go to it next year. There's one wedding that I was invited to that I can think of off the top of my head that we couldn't go to because I was on the cusp of being 36 weeks pregnant and you can't actually fly. And obviously with the second, they could come anytime. Kason came early, so I was like, you know, legally I actually can't. So it made it a bit easier because if it was the week before, I probably would have forced myself to go knowing actually it's not safe. Even though legally it's okay. I really shouldn't be traveling that far. But yeah, legally I couldn't go, but I was gutted.
I in your case it was like you definitely can't go. Mine was more of we made a decision on the fact of how it was in that time of that situation, and we made that decision that we couldn't do it. And looking back, I wish I'd just forced myself and made myself just to do it because you end up figuring things out anyway. And I just wished I'd done it because it was the one that I was just like, and again, they had a great time. The day really wasn't ruined that I wasn't there. But it's the one thing that even now, I'm like, oh, you know, I even got like from messages like, wish she was here, you know, so I was just like, oh, from other of the family, you know, so I do too. I really wish I was there too.
No, it's a tough one. Because like I say, you can't replicate that again.
No.
But obviously when you make that decision, you have to stick with it. But then it was obviously right for you at the time, but it's hard when in hindsight you're like some things you just have to go with.
But like you say, even planning for the day for us, I was thinking about different times of the year because of school holidays here, holidays in the UK, different work programs for different people in the family, thinking it was it suitable for them. And like Mitch said, this is our day, we've got to suit to us.
I did the same thing,
you know,
and actually the venue that I ended up picking didn't have a huge amount of availability, so I got married on a Sunday and I was like, oh, but people have to travel for work. And it's that I didn't realize this till after I started to get feedback from the guests that secondary school starts in England the day after the wedding, so some people's kids were going into their first year of secondary school, so they couldn't make it. And so I was a bit like, oh, didn't realize that. But again, I didn't have much choice.
No, but again, that's what I'm saying. It makes you overthink. Okay, we need to change the date. Then we need to, you know, we've only got this time frame for the people. We can get married whenever we want to, but we're thinking about everybody else again. You know,
which you have to a degree because, like you say, if there's key important members of family that you want to be there, like one of the reasons why we got married in Spain and we didn't go far, which is what would have been our first choice, was for, you know, Liam's nan, because she would never have flown to Jamaica, to America, to other places that we originally were first looking. So, and we knew we didn't want to get married in England. So this was like the next best choice.
And you knew that was she would be able to get there.
She would be able. I mean, she didn't actually come to the end.
But she had the option.
But she had the option. It was close enough. She could. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was being able to make it so that key members of family could come.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to think a little bit about other people because, like I say, if you're going, I would be devastated if my nan didn't make it, and then you choose the other side of the world.
Yeah, you kind of you rate that for yourself, aren't
you're creating that situation. So you have to think about people a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, even to like evening guests, a lot of people have day guests and evening guests. I didn't really have evening guests because my mum was like, "Are you really going to get people to travel all the way to La Manga just for the evening?" Well, no, that's a bit mean, isn't it?
So then it makes you question it.
Now you would have got now everyone's a day guest. Like now everyone now got to pay for the day rather than the evening. So yeah,
really, you could have gone. Yeah,
I should have.
Yeah, because if they want to come, then they can just stay at the night. They don't drink and they drive home.
Yeah, exactly. I could have left it, but then one thing that was quite handy is I think this was Liam's mum that organised it all because like the area that we live in to La Manga where I got married is a good 40-45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit.
So they all knew that. We spoke about it and then they arranged a minibus. So people could have stayed down there. There are a couple of hotels.
We just stayed, obviously.
Like so some people just stayed locally. Yeah. My mum even rented an apartment for 3-4 days before and a couple of days after. So they went down there for a while. But yeah, there was a minibus that went down to take people and then brought people back up at the end of the night.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But again, it was an idea. It's a great idea. And then I was like, this is your responsibility.
Yeah.
I can't take on any more extra things. If you want to sort it, because I'm not traveling on it. So if you want to sort it, here's a list of guests that are all in this area that would benefit from that.
go ahead.
I'm leaving you to organise it all, and you can organise paying for it.
I think that was my mum.
And everyone chipped in like a tenner. It would have been cheaper than a taxi.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if your mum was the same, but I can even feel my mum overthinking stuff. Like, right, so if they're coming over, we've got these places that they could stay, and they could stay here, and then we've got over your way, we've got that and this and that. I'm like, whoa.
To be honest,
they can look for something.
to be honest, my family are useless with stuff like that. So my mum actually had to book everyone's flights, book everyone's hotel, sort out. Yeah, she had to do loads.
See,
of that
that'll give me a if my mum has to do stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
and that is
like going on other family bloody holidays everywhere.
Yeah, why can't you organise? Yeah, and with the internet now, like you say, if you
I've lived here 23 years, so the area's quite easy to find. I haven't moved far.
Exactly.
You know, in that respect. You know?
All you have to do is give someone a location of the wedding, and it's very easy. Like I've been invited to weddings in places, Leeds. I've never been to Leeds before.
No.
It
was all right, wasn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Boston. I'd never been to Boston before. So,
I was thinking, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But two of the weddings that we went to in the last 6 months.
And we picked her up. We survived.
Exactly.
We knew where we was. We got around.
They told us where it was. Yeah, we hired a car. Yeah, exactly. Because we knew that there was far to travel.
Yeah.
And did we pester the bride with all of that? No. Give us the location. We know where to be, when to be there. And we just Googled it. Obviously, we're younger. It's a bit different for our nans to figure stuff like that out. But
obviously. But
that's one person.
Yeah,
like,
that's
your grandparents. That's fine if your mum was
not
sort them
them who causes the ag anyway. So.
Exactly, it's already out. But no, my mum had to do. She stressed a lot that.
Yeah, that's a lot. That makes the piss.
Especially my side.
I don't even do that to my mum. Telling you, mum, don't do it. All right, saying that, my mum probably enjoys doing stuff like that. She'll say but she actually really,
secretly enjoys it. Yeah, I think, like I say, my mum probably did to the point of just, if she didn't do it, she knew that there would have been problems. So she probably would have preferred.
It's easier for her to do that.
It's easy to know where you are, what you're doing.
She knows what's coming.
But then at the same time, you're all well old enough to sort yourself out. There was no need to do that and put it all on my mum to sort out.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna make it like a puzzle for where I am. It's not like I'm not in the middle of nowhere, but I'll give you an idea.
Yeah.
But it is that as well that comes with stuff.
Here's the venue. Here's a couple ideas for hotels.
Yeah. Which is what we got on all of ours, to be fair.
Fly into this airport.
Yeah.
Easy.
Exactly.
Here's a couple of transfers if you need it, car hires. Like, nowadays it's so, like, say you can book your own holiday. It's the same aspect.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see what I've got to come. Yeah, I've still got a lot more coming up.
Yeah, you've hardly made any decisions yet, so you've got a lot of decisions.
I've made decisions for everyone to have an opinion on, so
that's what I mean.
We will wait.
You haven't even started yet.
Well, I had one.
You've got one from your mum straight away. No, well, that's good though, because you've made that decision and you're not changing.
Definitely, that is one thing. No.
If that's one piece of advice that I can give to you, it's make the decisions that are best for you and Mitch, regardless of traditions, regardless of any family members. That goes for parents as well.
Yeah.
Make the decisions that are best for you guys.
Yeah. And I do like some of their or opinions or advice, because it's nice to hear.
Yeah.
And some of it I'll take on board and some of it I won't.
Yeah.
And if I don't, you don't get offended by it, because it's just my day and it's just what I want. So
yeah. And the world's very different to when our parents got married.
Yeah. Like you say, when you have your wedding renewal, because you are having a wedding renewal, I'm telling you now.
I feel a bit weird about that.
Why?
I love the idea of it, but then I feel a bit cheesy.
Do you?
I don't know.
Well, saying that, I think we said that about renewal, and you just had a party instead, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it your 10 year? What year was it? No, longer than that.
We've been together 15 years, and it was my
birthday.
30th, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been COVID.
I think it was that, because I kept going renew, and then you came out with having like a...
We just did like a night out. That for the 2000s
dress set. Yeah.
No, that was again, because I love the idea of celebrating, but the actual then inviting everyone to something, for me, like say, it's hard.
But then again, a renewal wouldn't have to be. We could go on holiday for a week and go, look, guys, we're going on holiday to celebrate us being together 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Or longer, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and you coming with us?
Yeah.
It could be that, didn't it? It didn't have to be a wedding, walking down the aisle and saying your vows again.
Yeah. I love the idea of that. Whether I actually do a whole ceremony thing, that I'm not sure about.
Well, I'll never get that, because I'm already 20 years into like relationship, so I'll never get that. I'll be like 90.
You'll have to by then, babe. We'll have nothing to celebrate then, so you'll have to do a renewal. Yeah, with your Zimmer frames. So funny.
I won't get
that
that
oxygen tanks.
I won't get that touch. Shall I turn it off?
Turn up your hearing aid. What did you say, love?
Definitely won't get that option. I'm done it completely the other way around, haven't I?
Well, next year will be our 10-year wedding anniversary, but next year you're getting married.
And it's like 20 years.
And it's
together.
like 20 years together. So that would have been the first milestone for us, because it's 20 years and 10 years. But that's the year that you're getting married. So there's no real need to for us to do anything.
We've got loads of celebration. It's fine.
So maybe we'll do.
Well, I think then after me, I think that in terms of, isn't it? Everyone's married.
In our close group.
Most people have children or want to start having children, say, you know, in that thing. So in terms of us getting together for that's definitely not happening, because that's done, or it will be done. So we will just start having actual just adult holidays.
Yeah.
With kids and without kids, you know?
Definitely both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely both.
Yeah. Some with, some without.
But I just feel like at the moment we only do stuff because it's Empire, it's a wedding, or it's
a milestone. Yeah. Whereas
we don't just do it because we did it once with Madrid, but you know, like we don't just go, let's go away.
Very rarely. Yeah. Like I say, we want to get better at that, more of the local things. But yeah, I think we've never all been away
for just a holiday.
For a holiday.
It's because that's what I'm saying. It's that, so there's always one person out of our group who doesn't, well, two people, because obviously two people get married, but more thinking about the bride here.
The bride,
is you know, has got a lot on them for that time. You know, it's never just all of us away relaxing,
chilling,
because we're there relaxing.
But that was your original idea.
It was. But in theory, I wouldn't have been relaxing.
Exactly. The theory didn't work out.
Or mixed, you know. So
we like the idea of that. So we'll just do that without the pressure of a wedding.
Exactly. Then that's exactly what I said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that holiday, but it doesn't have to be for my wedding.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, I like the idea of that. I mean, I actually like the idea of like putting my dress on and everyone getting dressed up and actually having a proper do.
Yeah.
But then whether I actually do that or not, I'm not too sure.
If you do, then we could all come in our dresses too.
Wow. Do you know what? I said this years ago.
I've still got my bridesmaid dress.
Well, I said years ago that like every now and then we should just host something that's like bring your dress.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bridesmaid dress, whether it's a wedding dress, and just host like a girls' night where you just get to put a dress that you only ever have worn once that you want to wear again.
Prom nights and things like that. I never got a prom. Did you do prom night? You got prom night, didn't you?
Yeah.
I never got prom night.
Yeah, and I had my prom dress. I don't know if I think I put it in my memory box now, because I wore it a couple of times, because mine was short, like simple, like a silk kind of thing, whereas I know a lot of people's are big prom dresses, so I actually did wear mine a couple of times. But yeah, so you school before that?
Yeah, I did. Did you keep your wedding dress then? Have you still got your wedding dress?
I've still got my wedding dress, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously some people sell it, some people keep it, some people keep it for their
a friend
children.
of ours put hers straight up for sale the week after she got married.
Done.
I've kept mine, and I don't have any daughters, so I can't pass it on.
No.
But I've still got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you could have a daughter-in-law as well.
Could have a daughter-in-law,
you know, as an option.
I don't plan to have more children.
No.
You never know.
Well, that was clearly answered earlier, wasn't it?
Well, exactly. And obviously, Lexi come along as a surprise, and she has a daughter.
Exactly.
So
don't speak too soon.
So no, yeah, I've kept mine. Mine was reasonable. I think my mum actually bought my wedding dress.
Okay.
And I got it at the same place that we went to. And it was discounted, so I think mine was about 800 quid, which is a lot for a dress.
It's a lot, but it's actually realising the prices, that's really good.
Yeah. Well, I know brides that have paid multiple friends of ours that have paid upwards of $2,000 for a dress. Yeah. So I thought 800 was more than reasonable for.
And it's this is what I'm a bit about, because you know what I'm like anyway, and I'm thinking, you know, really?
Yeah.
Really? You know?
I think that was kind of my threshold. I don't think I could have gone more than that.
Yeah.
Having the money, but I wouldn't want to spend that.
Exactly that. I think I'm a bit like that. I can't justify that. Sorry. But I probably will do it, but at the same time I'll be thinking how much I can sell it for after.
Yeah.
But no, I think no.
Well, you'll have to keep yours.
Well, again, I don't have to, but I would.
Yeah,
I think.
Like the truth, again, as tradition, a lot of brides wear their mum's wedding dress.
Well, I didn't know my mum's dress was borrowed.
Oh, really?
Her dress was from a friend.
Oh,
She went to the shop, you know, the bridal shop, things like that. Because that's what she was shocked at this bridal shop, because it is on another level, isn't it?
Yeah.
She was expecting, you know, more of a normal high street bridal shop, which majority of them are.
Yeah.
And she went to a bridal shop. I think she tried some dresses on. Nothing really stuck with her. And then I think her friend said, "Well, I've got mine. Do you want to try it on?" It fit her. And I think she wore that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah. And it's weird because as a bride, you think you'd want your own.
Yeah.
And especially if you're in the same friendship group as the bride.
Yeah.
Seen the dress. But then, like, I was bridesmaid for a friend of mine, my childhood friend, and I offered her to wear my earrings that I wore to my wedding for hers.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like I had good luck in it. We're 8 years married now. Like, here's a bit of good luck I can share with you, whether that's something that you wear or something that you do. And
that's
I don't
lovely.
think,
I think personally, like my
whether
mum,
it's a friend or a daughter or whoever it ends up being.
Well, again, I've never thought about these things. And the other day I went, I was at my mum, and she asked me if I had anything of my, borrowed?
Something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new.
Right, so she asked me that, and I was like, no, Mum, come on. I don't even know where I'm getting married. They're like, come on, like,
it's the last time I
really know.
Again, it's quite an old tradition.
It is, but obviously I'm really, no. I haven't got any of that, not at all. So she opened, well, she gave me a box, and it had my nan's engagement ring in it. So I haven't got it. I tried it on, and very weirdly, because I personally think I've got quite chunky fingers, you know.
You've got big knuckles.
I think so, yeah. So and my nan never did. My mum and my nan don't. They have quite feminine, you know, fingers.
Child fingers. Like
if you really look at fingers, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And so I never thought any of my mums or my nan's would ever fit me, because they're more petite, you know. And yeah, so this engagement ring on my nan's actually fits me on my wedding finger.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So obviously I'd wear it on this one.
Yeah. For you to just wear that day as something like
on that day of something borrowed and old. Yeah.
Oh,
and it was just really nice, because I wasn't thinking about it, obviously.
And I don't think,
and my nan, I didn't think
anymore.
Exactly. I didn't even think of anything to do with.
I think mine was last minute, to be honest. I think it was, again, something maybe I'd had the question a few times, and maybe last minute leading up to it, I was like, oh, have I got stuff? And someone got me a garter thing, and that had a bit of blue on it. So I was like, right, I got blue. I borrowed my mum's bracelet. New with pretty much everything else.
Yes, yeah.
So you could pick something. Something old. I don't know if I had something old. Whether the bracelet is borrowed and old, I don't know.
Yeah. But this is it, isn't it? So again, I didn't think of it, but when it come to me, like you with your friend with the earrings, I just feel like you think, oh,
it brings more sentimental things into it, and I think that's what's good with some traditions.
Yeah,
some, like I say, outdated, don't really agree with, doesn't work for me. But some traditions are nice because it gets you thinking of those things, and I think the more sentimental things you can bring into a wedding, I think that's very rememberable.
One thing for me, which I feel, I don't know, tradition you want to call it, whatever, is my dad giving me away.
Yeah.
That's one thing for me. I actually said to Mitch, if my dad doesn't give me away, we won't be getting married.
There's no point.
No, honestly, that was it. We won't be, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's something I hadn't really thought of.
No, but it's just,
as like, that's a big thing for me. But in the moment, like when my dad saw me and then walking down the aisle, like that ended up being one of my favourite memories. Yeah. And it wasn't something I'd ever thought of or thought would be a big thing. And like a father-daughter dance. Yeah. I really liked that I did that. And again, something that I didn't think of was an option. Yeah. A lot of my friends aren't doing that anymore.
Oh, really? So that's one thing I've loved to. I don't know if my dad will, because he's like quite a panicker with things like this. You know, I've even said you don't, because even
although a friend of mine who I was surprised didn't, because she's a proper daddy's girl, didn't plan to, and I think last minute there and then they put a song on and she grabbed it.
Well, that's even nicer in a way that it was that natural to happen. Yeah. But yeah, that is the one thing I think for me means a lot. Yeah. Is that with my dad giving me away, and I think my mum just having that experience with me trying dresses on. Yeah. You know, so we have that, and with my daughter too. Yeah. You know, I just think that was nice. And if my nan was here, my nan would be there, obviously, but
Yeah.
fortunately she isn't. So
But at least you'll have her ring.
yeah. So yeah, I've had a nice weekend really, and it's definitely kicked me at the bum to start actually sorting stuff out, because I know all the girls are a bit like, so are we having a hen or are we not having a hen? And I get it, because even as if it was you, I'd be like, right, what's going on? We have a life too to plan.
And like you say, you're not making it a thing where there's a lot of decisions to make, but I think once you get your venue, rough dates, like there isn't much else, because you're not making it a thing with all these additional things, like not doing bridesmaids, you're not doing vows, there's quite a lot of decisions you've cut out of having to
that
make,
usually bring some
sort
of
stress. So I think that's nice. And definitely do your legal stuff way before.
I've asked, so watch this space. I could be married by the next.
You could be a wife soon.
I could be. You never know. I'm not going to tell you the date I've asked for, so we will see. And never know.
Oh, amazing.
It was just how that experience ended up really literally making me think, like, okay, I think we might do it this way now.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's go with the flow. Our legal bit was Gibraltar, just parents and siblings, went in, got married within 20 minutes. Is very quick and straightforward in the little office that they do it in. I just had a jumpsuit on, we didn't exchange rings, and then we went to Pizza Hut Buffet.
That's so
and to Morrison's.
That is yes, you've got to hit Morrison's in Gibraltar. I'm sorry, but that was like mine and Mitch's highlight of our little visit there. Sad, I know,
but no, it was
that's fun. Getting married,
great experience, because we got both sides of the family together. We ended up getting really drunk and celebrating the night before. That we were actually hungover. I had my head out the window on the way to the office, and then went and had Pizza Buffet.
That's it. So that is it. It's about exactly that. But I know what I won't be having. I won't have any eggs from Bridesmaids, because I haven't got them, obviously, unless Lex is going to be obviously the biggest diva that she doesn't agree with any of her outfits.
That.
But I mean, we'll see when it comes to the hen, won't we? Because you'll all be telling me. So watch the space. You never know. Might be just me and you. No, it won't. My girls are good.
Yeah, you can trust us. We'll be there for you. So hopefully you've enjoyed. That ended up being quite a wedding episode.
It was actually. I don't think we spoke about anything else, did we?
No. So it's lots of different things going on, lots of different experiences. Like I say, I think being our age, you get to see and learn from everybody else.
I wonder if anyone's actually cancelled a wedding because of that feeling, like, no, this is too much, we're not doing this, or there's been arguments because of planning of a wedding that actually got cancelled. Anyone? I reckon there's definitely people that have cancelled a big wedding and gone off and done it, like elope or whatever it's called, or just gone off and done it. I want to hear that.
But whether it's actually led the bride and groom to break up over it, that would be interesting.
Because everyone we know could just gone, obviously everything's normal, got married, everyone's fine.
They've had stress and arguments, but they've continued with what they've
normal
planned.
stuff. So. That's what I mean. I'd just like to know if no one's ever said to us, oh, by the way, this could be me. By the way, the
you've just now this is you.
The invite I give you, we're not going to do it.
Scrap it.
We've done
it. Doing
you know what I mean? Yeah. Have you? I want to know.
No, that'd be interesting. Help Charlotte out, guys. She needs it. So send us a message, like, subscribe, comment about the wedding, give Charlotte some tips, and we'll let you know what she ends up doing.
I know there's ages yet, so
she says.
Well,
countdown's on. Most people take a year to plan. I know. You're getting very close.
I know.
So thanks for joining us for another week, a wedding week, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Adios.